Do you like going to school?
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
I get to meet my friends.
Playing games with my classmates during substitutions.
I like PE sometimes.
But extreme heat, heavy rains, bad air quality are increasingly keeping kids out of school, often without warning. So much so that in the past 1 year alone, children in Delhi NCR missed around 30 to 40 days of school due to such sudden extreme weather events. How do you feel when you have to keep missing school like this?
Bad. I sometimes feel boring at home and I don't have anything to do.
As unplanned school closures become more common, parents say the disruptions are unsettling their kids' routines. When something like this happens, how does it play out?
So it's a very sad situation because schools don't respond to you naturally, like, oh, we have a holiday tomorrow, like we have gazetted holidays every year.
This is Vandana, a 48-year-old who runs a small home boutique in Delhi where she lives with her husband and 2 kids, 11-year-old Kian and 13-year-old Kiara.
It's like we are preparing for school, we have to sleep on time, we have to eat on time because we have to get up 5:30 in the morning to go. And we get a message like 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:15 in the morning. There have been times when they are actually on the way to the catching the bus and we're getting, oh, the school is shut down. So they come back with a very sad and irritated face.
Especially for working parents like us, it becomes so much of a hassle when we get the last minute intimation. And of late, what it has been very last minute.
Rasneet Kaur, a 42-year-old marketing professional based in Gurugram, is a mother of 2 kids, 8-year-old Ranveer and 12-year-old Meher.
The other thing, which I feel is just the mindset of the student, So the child being on that iffy note that do I have school, not have school? Am I going to really finish my homework? Do I have a way out? All those things keep going into their head. And anyway, a disruption in the routine is not good for anyone.
This is more than just an inconvenience. Around 20 kilometers away in Noida, we meet Preeti, a public policy professional who works with governments to shape policies on climate change, health, and other social issues. She says she's noticed her 8-year-old son's health deteriorate over the years.
Something that Shanae has experienced is that 2 years ago, we saw something like he had a heat stroke, which was extensive. He had twitching in his neck area, which was really difficult for us to comprehend what had happened. A lot of our relatives and doctors really speculated that to be a neurological disorder. But we realized that wasn't so. It was a heat stroke. And it continued for a period of 6 months, which was pretty disturbing as a mother to see your child in pain. That was something that happened 2 years ago. And even today, he's actually experiencing something like that.
Dr. Poonam Sidana, a leading pediatrician based in Delhi, explains that as compared to adults, children like Shanae are more vulnerable to such acute health outcomes caused by heat exposure.
They may be consciousness impaired. They may not realize that they need to drink water, or a child may faint. If it is not managed in time, they can have seizures, fits, abnormal movements, and multiple other things. And in some kids, there may be a nerve damage, the brain damage that can take time to recover, or it may not recover completely.
Vandana also says that her kids too frequently fall sick if they spend too much time outdoors. She calls it a
jigsaw puzzle that we are not able to solve.
We need to understand that children are not mini adults. They're developing. So children have immature systems. Early exposure to all these things that can have long-term implications. So more incidence of asthma, more incidence of just general cold, kids with continuous runny noses, sneezing, and a lot of skin conditions we are seeing. I think that's on the rise. May not be very severe, but you can imagine a small kid who has to go to school and sneezing early in the morning, not feeling well enough, not being productive enough. So most of the time our mainstay would remain anti-allergics. But how long? There are kids who are almost perpetually on these medications. So it affects their quality of life.
Speaking of quality of life, it's not just their health that suffers. Playtime shrinks, outdoor spaces become off limits, and childhood is slowly moving indoors.
Around January 1st or something, we were going to go to PE. They say you can't go because when it's getting too polluted and then people might get sick. But then it was indoors PE and it was very boring, so they were just showing us videos about stuff and we couldn't play outside.
More indoor time ultimately just means more screen time.
Problem is not that they are staying back home. Problem is, what do they do at home? They just go sit on the computer the entire 6-7 hours. How much can I say don't sit? Because they have nothing else to do.
The time we used to spend with our friends in between classes, being in classrooms, inside the classrooms, talking with each other, engaging with teachers, all of that now need more digital point of contact.
Soumya Jagadev, a child psychologist and narrative practitioner based in Delhi, says this is one of the most common grievances that parents come to her with.
Some of the concerns around it that follows it is that there are difficulties in then spending time with each other as families, or there are no natural openings or conversation starters that families are finding themselves with, or it's also coming in the way of just emotional holding and safety that very well-meaning parents also want to establish with children.
As an early life expert, Preeti too understands the importance of a child experiencing more people contact to build their social skills, something that's missing in online classes.
I remember working with this young person and we were just talking about career aspirations in the future. And this young individual remarked, what is the point of planning for the future if none of us are going to be here? So they may not be very overtly angry or express their sentiments around frequent weather changes or school disruptions, but they may talk about it in the context of how they perceive their future or the quality of life in future.
It's become a nightmare for me. Every day he tells me, Mom, you're turning 50. I think you just have 5-10 years more. Mom, you're going to go because you don't keep well and the weather is not good, the pollution is going to kill, or some disease is going to come into you. It's a constant traumatizing fear, and for the same, I've started his counseling.
These are not things that kids should be thinking about, but unfortunately, the space and times that we live in. And I just go back to our early days in school. I don't even remember any of these coming to our mind. Summer holidays for us while growing up was one of the most cherished memories. And a lot of that had to do with being outdoor, being carefree, having a time of our life. I think our kids don't have, it's not the same for them. It's about having fun indoors, going to malls and doing these curated experiences, or traveling to places just to evade the heat. I don't remember, heat being a dampener for us.
So somewhere there is a loss of that very natural structure that children used to have earlier. Maybe we need to create more spaces proactively to invite conversations around this. The more and more spaces we create, maybe through metaphors, through stories, through questions, because not every child possesses the vocabulary or the knowledge to address something like climate inaction.
If I asked you to draw something about the environment and climate change to send your message across to the adults watching, what would you draw?
One moment. I'm trying to draw something like about the environments and the mountains. And I'm drawing like next to this I can draw the earth with some eyes. And
I think that the adults can do a lot of things to help us improve our health during the stage of climate change.
I can make like a box about this is good and the bad stuff.
I would start off with writing a heading, climate change. Then I would draw a boy in the center.
I made 2 earth, and one was like super green, blue, and super clean. Everyone was healthy and they were walking around.
Let's say this is the boy, and then I'd draw a thermometer on him. Now this thermometer is marking that he is sick, and now why is he sick? He could be sick because of many reasons, and one of them being, well, climate change.
So this is the drawing, and I drew like polluted river with trees getting cut and lot of trash getting thrown. I also drew the Mother Earth right here. That's saying save the environment, save yourself.
Here, everyone was sick, and the trees were droopy, trees were brown and dry, and much less greenery than before. The water also had smudges of black as the air pollution, the oil, and dirt from landfills which fall into the ocean.
So I would probably draw before and after. They're happy and having fun because they don't know that this is actually happening. But in after, when you're at an age when you realize that pollution is something that is going to harm you a lot, then the mindset changed.